Welcome back to my channel. Good morning. This is your girl Big AJ, and today we're going to talk about how to have a successful school year. School just started, and if you stick around and watch this video, you will get some ideas on how you and your child would have a successful school year. If you're new to this channel, please like and subscribe to this video. All right, so as you guys know, I am a school teacher, and I have been in the education field for over 25 years. And I know the first day of school, most of the kids are very, very excited. The teachers are excited as well to see their new students and their previous students. So today is, or tomorrow, whichever day your kids start at school, is going to be overwhelming because, you know, kids that have new teachers, they got to get adjusted to the new rules. Kids that's going to another grade level, they are excited about being more mature, you know. I only work with K through 3, sometimes K through 12. But my fave is K to 3. I like working with them because I think at that age, kids are more teachable than the older ones. Some of the older ones think they know it all. So, you know, you really can't tell them anything too much. So I think one of the things that will help us all, number one, get in contact with your teacher weekly if necessary. We don't mind communicating with our parents about how the student is progressing. So contact us, see if there's anything that's going on with the kid, how the kid is doing at school, and just keep touching bases. That's one of the things. Help your kids with their homework. A lot of times kids will come home and they'll tell you that they don't have homework, but 9 times out of 10, most kids have homework every day. Maybe sometimes except for on like Fridays. So make sure you work with them with their homework, and then, you know, they'll be successful. Another thing I found, like a lot of kids, and this is no shade to no parents, you know, because I know there's a lot of young parents out here who don't believe in discipline. And when I say discipline, it does not always necessarily require that you hit the child, beat the child, or anything like that. It just means to teach the child. And so that's one of the main things that I stress this school year. Teach your child how to be respectful if they are not already. So again, like I said, this is no shade to anyone. But as an educator, I found that there are so many children that do not have respect for adults, because I've seen there's a lot of kids that don't have respect for their parents. And it's sad to say that, but it's true. So we have to teach our kids the magic words, you know, the words that get them far. Please, thank you, you know, you're welcome. You know, we have to teach them these things because that gets them a long way. Okay? A lot of these kids feel entitled, you know, because some of you parents spoil your children. You give your children everything that they want. So when they get outside to school or in the real world, no is a word that they just cannot. Is a word that they just cannot get. You know, they can't grasp that. You know, you tell them no. Some of them start having tantrums, especially the young ones, the K through 3 class. You know, we have kids that we even have special rooms for, you know, where they can go and, you know, release some of that anger. And it shouldn't be that way, because from K through 3 or K to 12 pretty much, there should not be that much anger. I never seen so much anger from a 8-year-old, a 7-year-old, early in the morning. Like, what's wrong, baby? How how do you have this much animosity and anger in you early in the morning? It's not even 8 o'clock, and they coming in, they got their fist balled up, and they want to hurt somebody, because somebody said something to them, or did something or said no to them, and I hold the parents accountable. We are educators. We come to teach academics. We really not there to teach behavior. You know what I mean? But sometimes that comes with the territory. We have to sometimes teach behavior with these kids. And that's why I say, in order for you to have this successful school year, I know kids are coming to school, today, tomorrow, last week, whatever. They got on new clothes and things of that nature. They get upset if somebody step on their shoe. Please do not step on nobody's new shoes, because these kids' parents, and again, no shade to no parent or anyone who may be going through this, but some kids is just not used to having a lot. And some parents teach their children, if they have on new shoes and someone step on them, to get angry, or they get upset because it got dirty, just that type of thing that is easy to solve, because tennis shoes can be washed, okay? Or teach your kids, that not everyone is the same. We all come from different backgrounds. Everybody hair color is not the same. Everybody's skin tone is not the same. It's so teach your children that it's okay. It's okay to be different. Teach them that not everyone is going to accept you for who you are. But if you teach your child that he or she is beautiful and he or she matters, no matter what, that can help have a successful school year, because I've seen it all. I know, I know these things take place in these schools. A little girl may come to school and she may have an afro puff, or another kid may come in and he have dreads or twists and things of that nature. All those things causes a lot of problem. Or you may even have a kid that come to school every day. When I tell you every day, I mean GQ. That's what we used to call it. You could tell I'm telling my age. GQ. That means good quality. They come to school with Nike, Adidas, the latest, the greatest fashions, and then this other kid over here, they may not wear those type of clothing. And then that causes problem, because one child may say something like, I know with the tennis shoes, they like, what are those? What are those? Because I even had a kid tell me one day, I was at work, and she was like, it was not a girl, it was a boy. He said, what are those? And so, I'm an adult. So I said, these are such and such. They probably was some Adidas, the little flat ones that I have. And I said, these are Adidas, And then I don't think he really knew what the difference of what the shoes were, so he didn't really say anything. So I just replied to him, but I also told him, I said, so what difference does it make what kind of shoes I got on? And again, he didn't know. And so my purpose of saying this is that if we teach our kids to respect and love everybody and treat everybody the way they want to be treated, we can have us a successful school year. Teach our kids, to do what your teacher tells you to do, especially if it's nothing that's going to harm him. Listen to the teacher, because we're there with them the majority of the day, half of the day, at least 7 to 8 hours a day. So we more so become more like their parents, in a sense, their aunties, their sisters, their counselors. We come because we have to become everything for them, and we're only there to keep them safe. And their only job, as my principal used to say, is for them to help us keep them safe, and we can have a beautiful school year. I've had so many incidents when you guys come to the school, you're not understanding. You always thinking that we're in attack mode. But believe me, it's not. We're only there to try to help you and your child succeed. So we have to teach our children those basic things, to have a successful school year. Not be combative. Listen, do your homework, just the simple things, you know what I'm saying? Teach your children not to use profanity. A lot of people say, oh, my child, he don't use profanity. But believe it or not, parents, when your child comes to school, not you, but the other people's children, they use profanity like it ain't nothing. I never heard so many children use so much profanity. I'm like, where are they getting these things from? Are you getting it from home, or are you just being in a position where it's peer pressure? Because there's a lot of peer pressure. Teach your children that it's okay. It's okay to be different. Don't follow the crowd. Teach your child to be a leader, and he'll have a successful school year. You walking around and you see a group of kids and they using this profanity, or they doing this and they doing that. Teach your kid to get up and walk away from that table. Teach your child to go somewhere else where he's wanted and where he's appreciated and where he can be respected, and he does not have to involve himself in those type of behaviors. It's okay to be different. I've had so many times where kids be like, Miss Adrian, this person said that my mother was this or that. They talk about parents. They talk about things, and those things trigger a lot of our kids out here. And we just got to teach our kids to learn, that we don't have to retaliate to everything that somebody say. We got to teach them. And it takes time. It takes patience. I understand a lot of parents rather be friends with their children, than to take that time to, teach them the golden rule. Teach them, in order to be successful. Because if we don't teach our kids now, now is the time, and if we don't teach them now, it's going to be too late. We don't want our children to grow up out here getting arrested because they can't take no for an answer. Teach them it's okay. Sometimes no is going to be the answer. It's not always going to be yes, and it's okay. We all don't get what we want in life every time. That's okay. But again, like I said, parents, this little video this morning was for all the parents who is going back to school. Leave me a comment. Share this video with other parents that that may struggle with discipline and struggle with having successful school years. I seen a little boy the other day. He was on a telephone. I guess he was talking to a person that was like in charge of him. This was the first day of school for him, and he was explaining to the person he was talking to how he's going to do better. I'm gonna do better. It wasn't my fault. I'm sorry. I'm gonna do good this year. So he was begging and pleading with this person to believe in him. And I don't know what happened. I don't know what he did, But in order for our kids to be successful, we have to instill that in him, that they can be that great of a person. I wonder sometimes why these kids come to school early in the morning. Some schools, the school that I worked at, they provided free lunch and free breakfast. So a lot of kids, we don't know. A lot of kids' household situation may be different from the next kid. Maybe this kid didn't get breakfast this morning, maybe they didn't get bathed this morning, last night. We don't know everyone's situation that can cause our babies out here to be stressing out over adult things. Parents, get up in the morning, encourage your child that they are beautiful. Tell them that you love them. Do not get up in the morning yelling and screaming at these kids, cursing them out. I've heard parents getting up, get your so-and-so up, get your so-and-so up, and I'm going to beat your this and I'm going to beat your that. And and you little so-and-so, verbally abusing these kids and then expect them to come to school and be productive. It just doesn't work. Love on your children harder. Encourage your children harder. In the morning, tell them to go to school. Say, be great, because I know you are great. We have to instill this in our children. Even as adults, we need that encouragement, those words of affirmation sometimes. So get up and encourage your child to be the greatest child he can be. And if it's something that he don't know how to do, let him know. Let them know it's okay that they don't know now, but they will learn. They will learn how to do those things that they having problems with, And remember, to be successful, you don't have to always come to school with the latest and the greatest. As long as your clothes are clean and presentable, do not go out here and try to compete with other people. Stay in your lane, live within your means, and your child will have a successful school year. Again, communicate with the teacher weekly, because don't wait till it's mid-school year and your kids start coming home telling you little tales that it wasn't him type of thing. Parents, as educators, we reach out to parents a lot of time when we see issues arise, and it's been many times we call home, parents don't answer the phone, they don't return our phone calls when we have issues. And in order to have a successful school year, parents, you have to communicate with us teachers. Communicate is the key. Okay? Communicate is the key. And I know a lot of you may not want to, but it's help for you guys too. We have counselors and guidance counselors at our schools, where if you need help with some things, we're programs. We have many programs that can help young parents, especially young parents. I see a lot of young parents struggle with it. So reach out to the schools, stay in contact with your teachers. Teach your child that it's okay to be different. Teach your child that everybody is not the same. Teach your child to treat people the way that they want to be treated. And they will have a very successful year. So again, this is Miss Adrian, also known as Big AJ. That's Miss Adrian is my teaching name. Big AJ is my YouTube name. If you liked my video, if you have any comments or questions, like, subscribe, share my video to your friends. Watch my channel for future video updates. This is your girl, Big AJ, checking out. And remember, as always, I love you. Peace.